what I want to know is how did you become a senior innovation manager? And I also want you to provide us with your full name and just what your role consists of, really. Just present to us.
My name is Zita Katharina Lucius. I am from Germany. I am located in Germany as well at the moment in Hamburg. I studied mechanical engineering, and then I did a master's degree in economics, basically industrial engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And because I used to work in a car repair shop, I then started in the automotive industry for a couple of years, where I focused on innovation management, creating innovation processes, creating an environment where innovation can happen. I did that for a couple of years, and at the same time, I started a PhD also in innovation management. And so you see, again, please, what did you
Oh,
say?
no. I find it impressive how you went from mechanics to, I feel like it's something different from what you were doing before.
It somehow is. I mean, so if you do innovation, you always need to understand the product you innovate. So it is really important to have like at least a little bit of technical background if you work in a technical environment, because for different reasons. First, they never take you serious if you have no idea what you talk about. So it's always important to understand what you're talking about. And second, they actually come to you for your help then, because they know you have knowledge about a topic. Yeah. And third, you have just, if you have like a slight basis on knowledge on different topics, you have the possibility to deep dive into different topics as well. So I had, for example, the chance to really had a look into solutions for oil in engines. So how is oil impacting the performance of an engine, and how additives are working in engines. I looked into additive manufacturing as a technology for production. I looked into future mobility, how it will affect our, in the automotive industry, everything is like focused in cars. How is actually future mobility, as that was the time when these e-scooters arose in cities, how that would be affected by those new products. And also like everyone is more focused on public transport and climate neutral or sustainable solutions for public transport, and how to get people more using public transport, coming back from owning their own car. So how does that affect? So you see, I've like looked into many different topics, and that is something that is really interesting about being an innovation manager, because you just have the possibility to broaden your knowledge on different things, maybe become an expert on different things, but mainly actually supporting in all the matters that are there, and actually inventing or finding something, innovating for the people, for the customers. And that's what makes it so purposeful, so meaningful, so important. And so I decided to actually do a PhD. It took me some time to realize, okay, I'm really doing a PhD. And then I did that also in creativity in context of new work. So all those new ways of working that we see, and how the organizational culture is impacting the employees' creativity, because I truly believe that the best resource we all have are the employees in the companies. So by enhancing their creativity with different structures, with different models, we will be
I'm interested. How do you actually boost creativity in the employees? I'm just interested in how it works, because I'm also realizing that you probably... Are you an organized person? I want to ask you. Would you consider yourself an organized person? Since you have to, apply that, you have to make sure everyone's organized as well from the beginning of the projects, right, till the end of the projects, because that's where you play your part, right? So I want to know. It's just a curious question.
Many people would say I'm organized. I don't feel that I'm like that super organized person, because when I refer example to my husband, who's really good in using Excel or this Trello lists and stuff to organize himself, I struggle with these things sometimes. But I'm good in keeping up with information and how to organize that information for myself and use it then. So in that way, or in that regard, I am organized. But I'm actually excelling in chaos. So I like to organize chaos, so chaotic situations and instructions. And that is what innovation basically is. It always comes out from chaos, or from a chaotic situation. So well, I'm somehow organized, I'd say.
So during those chaotic moments, how do you like compose yourself? Are you calm and relaxed? How do you approach when there's a lot of chaos in the workplace and you have to, organize all of this?
So the good thing mostly is that I'm not the reason why there is chaos. So I can go into it and be like confident and know that, well, there's chaos, but you can master that. So you have been in difficult situations before. And I actually go into that and think, okay, everything we do is learning. And with that, you can fail, you experiment, you maybe excel. And in the end, you will be smarter than before. And with that, it's never like failure or anything. I didn't, and if you see everything as a learning moment, it's easier to get out of it confident and like not struggling.
Exactly. It can be a moment for optimization, right? That's
Yes.
how I feel about failure. And now, even myself, for example, I've been, just trying to get more organized, especially in videography. You have to organize all the projects. You have to make sure everything's up to date and all that. But I want to know more as well. Like, how did you plan to? Did you always want to work in the energy sector? Like, what
Well,
sparked that interest for the energy sector? How it happened exactly?
yeah. So there are three reasons why I choose a job. One is I fit to the profile, of course, at least to some extent. One is that the tasks that are described are interesting, and maybe adventurous to some extent, maybe give me the possibility to alter in all the fields and areas I have to work in. And the third one is that I'm a fan of the company. So as said, I used to work in the automotive industry, and I was a huge fan of my tasks and also of the company itself, because studying mechanical engineering, I was provided with so many information about the company already that it like feels like, you know, having that goal in front of you and then just getting there and actually reaching it. So it felt like for the first time and for the first job being at home. And when it's like last year, I was on the job hunt again, because I was like finishing with my PhD more or less. And I was on that point where it's like, I want to do something more meaningful for the future. So I felt I wanted to like create something that has a real impact. And
Yeah.
I would not say that I'd like to go into the energy sector as well, but into the renewable energy sector, where it at least feels that I can have a direct impact on our climate and on the world that we may be living in the future. That was something that sparked my interest.
Very interesting. And so I want to talk now about just what type of protective clothing do you have to wear, and just what sort of environments do you work on a daily basis? And yeah, that's it.
So, yeah. So actually, I normally I sit in the office, so that is my daily basis. I've been through the GWO training, so meaning that I'm now allowed to go offshore and work on the vessel. So hence, I need the protections all the workers work there, starting with the helmet, going down to the shoes. Um, and it's a rough environment offshore. I've not been there yet. I can only imagine how it is there. But I'm looking forward to go there, because one task is of my job is actually to talk to the technicians and workers and colleagues on the vessels in order to understand what are the problems, where are the pain points, and how we can like solve these with innovative gear, with innovative equipment, with innovative tools that they can use in the future.
So let's move on now to then, like a year ago from now, right? Were you wearing men's FR clothing or ladies?
So I had actually, so like when I started to wear PPE, that was in my internship at a car workshop. And there I had huge problems to actually find something. So I was wearing in the summer, like when it was not cold, a normal jeans, an old one for myself because there was no fitting PPE for me. And in the winter, I was wearing skiing trousers because it was so cold in the workshop. And the only thing we found actually for my size, because I really have small feet, was shoes. So that's the only PPE I had. And then I did not have to wear PPE a lot when I was working at my former job. I only had to wear the shoes because I didn't like actually act on the machines or in the cars. And honestly, so as long as it's not dangerous for me, I also go there with my normal working clothes. So I personally don't mind even if it gets dirty. But now that I have to like rub through the, it's like, like being in that dirty environment, being in that rough environment. I actually had issues to find something that is fitting because in the shop I was, there were women clothes, but they were not fitting at all. So I ended up wearing men's clothes. But the thing is that, I mean, women have curves. Women may have a little bit more ass than men.
Of course.
They have like a smaller waist most of the times, and so it is when you wear clothes that are for men. They're not like they are ending directly on back of your button, but then if you sit down, everything's like you see like half of
It's
of your body.
baggy. It's
Yes,
just
yes,
doesn't look good. It doesn't fit on the
yes.
body, does it?
No, not at all. So you have like it is really wide there where the waist is, and then really small where where your butt is, and then you just I don't know, don't like moving with it because you don't want everyone to see everything that you're wearing, and it's also not from the material. But that is like, I mean, maybe I'm really picky with that. I don't know. It's not that nice because it was kind of tight. And feeling that sticky material on the legs wasn't that nice in general. So yeah.
Yeah, it's quite important to have, PPE that's comfortable for you. And because at the end of the day, imagine, for example, an electrical engineer who's doing this 8 hours a day or maybe even possibly more. And I don't know, even you can trip on it, or it just doesn't look very professional as well when just all baggy and
Yes.
just not looking that good. And in this case, this brings us up to, do you think that PP specifically designed for women is important? And I also want to ask why. Why is it important for you?
I mean, in the end, I think it is important that it is created for the individual. It should be independent if it's a man or a woman or I don't know, a kid, an adult, a big person, a small one. It just should be more individual. I know that especially in the world that we live in, where we produce everything in mass, it's really difficult to do so. But in the end, what we protect is ourselves. So when we go somewhere and we are sent by our employer, we are sent there to do a job that I don't know can harm us in any way, have impact on our lives to in some extent. So, and this can be, of course, in a physical way that we burn ourselves, that we I don't know trip over something. But then in the other side, on the other side, it's also some kind of psychological well-being that we create. It's kind of belonging that you create when you have um, fitting PPE that is made for you. It shows that people actually care about you. It shows that you're welcome, especially in I mean, there are not many women working in this environment, and I can totally understand why because it's a hard environment.
Of course.
But it's also like it is you are always an alien when you are there, and I used to it's like since I've worked only in male dominated areas, and you always feel like different just because you're different but you shouldn't be. And having the correct PPE that is protecting you as a person, as the individual that you are, and that is provided by your employer, brings just belonging to the company. And that is important for everyone, because belonging then creates loyalty, it creates identification, and yeah,
It
that's
brings that sense of equality as well. I'd say, we're not just thinking about the men. No, we're also going to build this up and design this for the
yes,
woman body in mind, and
yes,
making sure like you look good, you're able to work, and I think it's very important, in my opinion, to do this because there's still a lot of work to be done in regards to that, and creating more garments that are fit for women. Even though the percentage of women electrical engineers is low, I still think it's an important thing because over time as well, the demand for this job role has been getting higher and higher right now because we have more renewables being built as well, probably offshore as well. Solar farms we have more solar farms around the country in the UK, for example, being built. I know about that. There's more investment going on, and I'm pretty sure the number in women working will go up as well. So we need to go up as well in terms of the garments that are being designed for them and manufactured,
yeah.
And I want to ask you now, so what archive clothing do you wear?
So I was happy actually that I raised awareness to this topic on LinkedIn, and I was happy that I got from Strata some that was actually. It feels like it is made for me. It is like comfortable. It gets up to the waist, which is really nice because then it doesn't move down when I sit down. Yeah, I have some that is actually branded in my company's name. That is also really nice because it directly shows that I belong to the company, and yeah, belong that I belong.
No, thank you so much for just joining this cause, and because it's something that I'm also like organizing the social media part as well, and been posting about this for a while now, for maybe like a couple of months now. And it's very nice to actually have someone who can have direct impact in this as well and spread our message as well. So even that post as well that I did, for example, yesterday, I organized this as well, and it's just been getting a lot of traction. People want to
Yeah.
see more about this. People are happy, and they want this to go further, to develop to something bigger.
Yes. Yes, I completely see that as well. I see that it is an important topic, so I'm pretty happy to help actually, because it is personally it is a topic for me, because I was just really annoyed by that. But listening to the stories from my colleague, how they feel that they were wearing like Big Brother's clothes and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, but why don't you do something about it? I mean, we have all the possibilities now. We have the voice. You are giving us the voice. So we just need to learn to raise it. And if I can do that and someone is following and seeing it, I don't need the attention of everyone. I just need the attention from those who care. And that's the good thing.
No, thank you so much, Zita. Wait, how do I pronounce your name correctly? I don't want to say it wrong.
Zita.
Zita.
Yeah.
Zita. Anyways, thank you so much for providing us just your insight over this matter, of this subject, really. I don't know, is there anything else that you want us to talk about, or any other message that you want to share? Or
I mean, in the end, we are a diverse environment. We live with so many different people. We talk to so many different people. It's just nice to see that more and more awareness is created for a difference and for diversity. And as said, independent of if we are man or woman.
100%.
I also have like colleagues that are smaller, and they also have issues, because you don't, you imagine, you have a stereotype picture in your head when you think of a technician, and I can blame myself on doing the same. I still have the same picture, and so it, yeah, it's like looking at firefighters and imagine them like being hot, and as you see them in the calendars and from Australia or somewhere. um, and I can tell you they're not all the same. They don't look all the same, and nobody is like as another person. So yeah, emphasizing difference and diversity is, I think, something that is really important, and I'm happy to be a part in that.
Oh, 100%. We're all, different shapes, different arm size, different feet size, It's nice to feel like people care about how we are.
Yes.
It's important that we wear the right things, right? We're not going to buy garments that you wouldn't go to a normal shop and buy something that just doesn't fit you or doesn't look good on
Yeah.
you, would you? So,
No, I wouldn't. So,
and,
well, I mean,
yeah,
women are different, we're wearing high
no,
heels. So we would maybe go to a shop just because it looks nice. But,
that's true, man. I didn't
but it
really
makes
take that into
but it
consideration.
makes us happy, it's a difference.
No, thank you so much, Zita, for just showing up here and for sending us pictures as well, wearing our garments. It's just been
You're
a very
welcome.
good feedback for us, and it helps us as well. Um, I finished my questions right there.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for the time and asking me. It was a pleasure being with you, talking to you, Adrian. So
Thank you. Thank you. It was nice meeting
well,
you, and I can't wait for more collaborations as well, and just
me
possibly
neither.
send you some free clothing as well eventually, so you can give us some feedback as well.
I would be
Uh,
happy about that.
I'll talk to the managers and see what they have to say about that.
Yeah.
But no, this has been very good, and if we keep this relationship going, I'm pretty sure they will send you something to you.